This is a SofaBaton U1 universal remote. And this is a SofaBaton U2 universal remote. We're gonna open it up, check out what's inside, and then we're gonna compare it to the U1, and then I'm gonna give you my thoughts and impressions on the U2. Let's unbox. Shout out to SofaBaton for sending this out to me for review. Full disclosure, they did send this to me for free for review. However, all my thoughts in this video are my own. They're not influencing me in any way. I'm not getting paid to make this video. They're not viewing the video before I upload it, and I can say what I want. So, we'll get this open. Okay, so in the box, we get our SofaBaton manual, and then we get some batteries, and then we get our U2 remote. So just looking at this looks almost identical to the U1. All right, so for looking at both remotes to see the differences, so I can tell right now the U2 is a little bit longer than the U1 remote. And then for the volume up and volume down buttons, they are separated. So there are two buttons instead of one just long button. Same thing for the up and down buttons. They're separated on the U2 as opposed to just one, long button on the U1. Everything else pretty much looks the same. So the buttons at the bottom where the numbers are, those are a little bit bigger, and it looks like they're raised a little bit more. And then as far as the screen, I think the screen size is about the same. The scroll button is a little bit bigger on the U2 than the U1. And as far as the color, the U1 it's black, but it has like this little bit of a smoky grayish to it, whereas the U2 is just black. And then on the infrared at the top on both, looks like the infrared area is a little bit bigger than the U1. So I think this is supposed to have a better range, the U2. But everything else is pretty much the same. The design's the same. The battery compartment on the back is also different. So the battery compartment on the back on the U1, you've got these two areas where you basically have to take your fingernails and, pop that out, which is not a very good design. And if you don't have long fingernails, it's going to be kind of difficult. On the U2, you have one that's a slide down. But one thing that I don't like is that it's very, very slick. So trying to get a grip, because these work with, putting pressure and then gripping and then pulling down. So you can see it takes a little bit for me to get that battery compartment off. It still is better than the U1, but I wish they would make this more of like a rubbery kind of grip feel. And then on the back, you've got some little raised rubber feet, so that when this rests on, a flat surface, as opposed to this kind of like just long ribbed piece. But other than that, it looks like it's pretty much the same. And as far as I understand, the functionalities are exactly the same, but there are a few differences. I know that this has a better range. So I'm gonna take this into my living room. I'm not gonna use this in my theater because all of my components are behind me, and it wouldn't work very well. I think this is best. These remotes are best used when you're, pointing at something directly in front of you. If you have your entertainment center or your Blu-ray, your TV in front of you, as opposed to the X1 that has a hub where you can put that anywhere, and it has infrared blasters and stuff like that. So I'm going to take this into the living room. I just have a TV and a Roku, and then I'm going to open up the app, program it, and see if there's any improvement, see how it works, and then I'm going to let you guys know what I think. Okay, so right now I'm in the living room. I've got the U2 remote from SofaBaton, and it's telling me to connect to the SofaBaton app. So I'm going to open that on my phone. SofaBaton, and I'm going to select my device, and I already purchased, and it's going to tell me to press and hold the the little, I guess that's the minus button, and the E button at the same time until the screen reads pairing button. Okay, so I'm gonna do that now. All right, so it found the remote, and I'm gonna hit connect. Okay, so it's successfully connected. So now I need to add my devices. So really I only have 3 devices right now. I have my Sony TV in the living room, I have my Sony TV, an Oppo BDP 103, and then I have a Roku Ultra. So I'm gonna hit add, and then it's going to show you some popular devices that you might want to add. So I'm gonna hit Roku, please. So some of the English on here is not very good. Please a name and select an icon for the device. So they need to fix that. Okay, so Roku, device icon, that's fine. Next. So it's uploading the infrared codes. Now I might have to go back and actually tell it which Roku it is if it doesn't work, Roku Ultra. But I just clicked on the standard Roku logo and it started downloading. So maybe the remote code is the same for all of them, I don't know, but we'll see. Okay, so looks like it connected successfully. So then I'm gonna add my TV. So manufacturer is gonna be Sony 850C. Now this TV is pretty old. It's from 2014, I believe. So we'll see if it finds it. Okay, so it looks like it found it. So we're gonna hit next. Okay, so it's downloading the remote codes, cool. So we're gonna let that finish, and then I'm going to add my Blu-ray player. Okay, so I'm gonna hit done, and then I need to add my Oppo. So Oppo, and it looks like it found, so there's 2 that come up. So I'm gonna go with the top one, and then it's gonna be BDP 103, done, search, and looks like it found it. All right, so now I've got all of my devices loaded into the remote. Now I'm gonna use the remote to see if I can actually control my devices. Okay, so I just hit the button to turn on my Sony TV, and it looks like it is working. All right, cool. So my Sony TV came on, I can see my Roku, so now I'm going to scroll up on the Roku and see if I can control it. Yep. I don't know if you guys can hear that clicking sound, but the Roku is working. So I'm going to scroll back to the Sony TV and see if the volume works. Yep, volume works. And then I'm going to scroll over to the Oppo and turn that on. Oppo turns on. So yeah, it works. I don't see very much difference from the previous one. Now, one thing I don't really like is that I don't see anywhere in the app where I can create an activity with this. I haven't used the U1 very much just because I didn't like it very much. And the X1 remote, I haven't really used that because I couldn't get it to work with my projector and I didn't want to turn everything off manually. But I do know for a fact, and if you watch that video, you can create, activities with that one. This one is a little bit tedious because, you'll have to scroll back and forth with the little scroll wheel to control. But once you turn the TV on, then, it's pretty quick. You just scroll back and forth to control. Again, there may be a way to create macros on this one. I'll have to do a little bit more research, but everything came on. I can control everything. It seems to work fine. And I am in direct line of sight. I'm right in front of it. Don't have any issues. All right, so that's going to conclude it for this video, the SofaBaton U2. I think this is pretty much the same with a little bit more functionality. And if you're going to be using this in like a living room where everything is directly in front of you, then you shouldn't have any issues. Now, I do have a discount code for you. If you want to pick this up, I'll leave a link, an affiliate link in the description. You can get 30% off of this remote, the U2, if you type in the code Haterade at checkout. And this discount code is going to run through June 30th. Now, it just turned May, so you've got about 2 months if you want to pick this up. Again, 30%. That's a very good discount. So go ahead and click on that affiliate link if you want to support the channel. Use that code Haterade again for 30% off on your purchase. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.